At exactly the moment Nick Reiner's life was about to be decided in court, something unbelievable happened. His lawyer quit. Not days before, not weeks before, on the same day. The man hired to save him simply walked away. And what followed is one of the strangest legal exits in a modern murder case. Nick Reiner was not supposed to become a headline like this. He was known as an aspiring film director, a troubled creative mind struggling with mental illness and addiction. But in December, everything collapsed. Nick was arrested and charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder for allegedly killing his own parents, Rob and Michelle Reiner. Rob was 78 years old. Michelle was 70. They were found stabbed to death inside their home by their daughter, Romy. A scene investigators described as shocking and violent. Nick now faces life in prison without parole, or possibly the death penalty. When the case became public, one name immediately changed the tone of the story: Alan Jackson. Jackson is a veteran defense attorney known for handling cases other lawyers refused to touch. So when he agreed to represent Nick, many believed this would be a long and aggressive legal battle. But according to Jackson himself, the case began with a phone call in the very early hours of December 15th. He was in New York. He will not say who called him. He will not say what was said. But what he does admit is this: the moment that call ended, he dropped everything. He contacted his legal team in Los Angeles and boarded a flight almost immediately. This was not routine. This was urgent. Something about Nick Reiner's case demanded his full attention. For weeks, Jackson worked on the defense. And then, without warning, everything changed. On January 7th, the day Nick was supposed to be arraigned, Jackson stood before the judge and said he had no choice but to withdraw from the case. No explanation, no public reasoning, just one sentence, and he was gone. The defense was handed to a public defender, and the arraignment was delayed until February 23rd. The internet exploded with speculation. Was it money? Was it evidence? Was it something too disturbing to defend? Jackson finally addressed the controversy on Billy Bush's Hot Mic podcast. At first, he stayed calm. He said the reason was confidential. But when Bush suggested the withdrawal might be related to payment issues, Jackson snapped. He made it clear it had nothing to do with money. Instead, he said something happened that affected his ability and his team's ability to continue the representation. And then he shut the door completely. He warned the public not to speculate. He repeated that once he withdraws from a case, he is done. No leaks, no clarifications, no second chances. Behind the scenes, investigators revealed troubling details about Nick's mental state. The night before the murders, Nick reportedly got into a heated argument with his parents at a party. Nick had been diagnosed with schizophrenia and was taking medication. According to reports, that medication left him disoriented and out of his head. He also has a long history of drug addiction. Prosecutors believe these factors may have contributed to what happened next. But none of that explains why an experienced defense attorney would abandon a case at such a critical moment. And that is what makes this story so unsettling. Whatever Alan Jackson saw, heard, or learned behind closed doors was enough to make him walk away from one of the most high-profile cases of his career. Nick Reiner now waits for his next court appearance, facing the possibility of spending the rest of his life in prison. And the truth? The reason his lawyer quit may never be revealed. Because in this case, the silence might be the most terrifying detail of all.